The Philippines is struggling with the severe flooding caused in increasing rain, a national disaster that is agriculture country and the facing of increasing frequency and intensity. The torrential downpour exacerbated by the unusual monsoon season and tropical storm had led to widespread flooding in many provinces. Thousands of families were forced to their homes and seek shelter to evacuation centers and key infrastructure including roads, bridges, schools and several damaged. The hardest hit region are in the high alert at the Luzon, where floodwaters have inundated entire communities. Rescue operations are ongoing, but the scale of the destruction has stretched to local authority to the limit. The country's National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council they issue a warning and advised residents in low-lying and coastal area to remain vigilant. Evacuations were carried out in many regions before the water reached the peak up, and many people remain trapped at flood levels of those faster of expected. The floods have disrupted power supply, damaged across groups and parts of country without access to clean up water in a rural area. Rice paddies, the farmland crucial in a country's agriculture production, have been flooded, raising concerns about the flood security in the coming month. Philippines is once again facing the devastation impact of extreme weather as a torrential monsoon rain worsened to tropical storm Angor triggered catastrophic flooding across alleged areas of Luzon and Luzon. Over 75,000 people have been displaced by the thousands of trapped submerged homes as rivers burst at their banks and the urban drainage system collapsed under the pressure. In Metro Manila, relentless rain over the past 5 days turned avenues like Espana Boulevard of insane rivers. Schools, government officials and financial institutions were forced to suspend operations. At least 13 cities decided states and calamity, inducting Manila, San Metro and Motors were left without 1.5 meters in some neighborhoods. According to Pagasa, the rainfall total in parts of central Luzon reached over 400 mm, while wild gusts and going in 75 km/h in coastal areas. Climate experts warn warning to the future temperatures in West Pacific and the English. Relentless monsoon rain have triggered widespread flooding across the Philippines, displaced thousands of submerged entire neighborhoods underwater. It what officials are calling one of the most intense weather events in the year. Multiple provinces, including Metro, Manila, Pampanga, Bulacan, and other parts of the Philippines, have been inundated after the days of continuous rainfall. The Philippine Atmospheric Geological and Atmospheric Severe Administration reported that over 300 mm of rain fell in just 28 hours, more than half of a typical monthly average. The downpour intensified by southwestern monsoon and further enhanced tropical storm Angor, caused rivers to overflow and drainage system to fail. In Quezon City, west deep floodwaters turned major floods into rivers, paralyzed transport and prompted authorities to suspend classes to work in government officials. In Balkan, over 20,000 people were evacuated from the flood from Brinklands on the ungamed rivers breaching the banks. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council confirmed at least 5 fatalities, with several other injured or missing. In the city such as capital Manila, traffic comes to standstill and businesses are closed as the people stretch to supplies on that flooded. Meteorologists point to climate change as a Meteorologists point to climate change as an important factor in infrastructure in these weather events. The Philippines located in Pacific typhoon belt faces frequent tropical storm, but experts say rising global temperature are making these storms more intense and destructive. In recent years, typhoon brought unexpected mountain rainfall that is increasing the risk of flooding. The government meanwhile has been working to mitigate the effect by dispatching emergency service and engaging in military rescue operations to coordination with the emergency humanitarian organization. However, long-term solutions remain challenges. They need better flood protection, improved urban planning, and climate change resilience may issue more urgent to note that. Rescue teams and inflatable boats have been working around the clock, navigating narrow streets and rescue stranded residents, including the elderly and the children. Infrastructure damage, widespread landslides and Bunagate provinces blocking key highways were prompting to North Luzon Expressway were temporarily impossible. Power outage affected more than 16 households, and water supply were cut off in low-lying communities due to contamination concerns. President Ferdinand Macron has called to immediate national response, mobilized military and emergency service are pledging government assistance to displaced families. Local officials warned to with a saturated soil and a more rain expected to risk additional floods and landslides remaining high. Climate scientists are again raising alarm that is warning ocean temperatures in the Pacific influence stronger to more than erratic monsoon system. As the Philippines recover at least disaster underscoring the growing vulnerability of island ocean to extreme weather and changing climate.